Hello and welcome to 3 Minute Gaming. I'm Nathan. Today I'm going to tell you if this game is worth your time and cash. Today's game is Turbo Overkill. Was Doom Eternal just not fast, crazy, and redonk enough for you? Also, have you ever wanted a chainsaw leg? Boy howdy, do I have the craziest game ever for you. Turbo Overkill is a PC-only game on Steam. It just entered early access. Its asking price is currently $19.99, and the game has one episode that will take you around 3 to 5 hours depending on your difficulty level. So what exactly is Turbo Overkill? Well, it's a modern boomer shooter that fully encapsulates its title. It's fast as hell, and you're going to murder the shit out of everything in glorious gibbitude. The game is set in a vaporware aesthetic cyberpunk future where you are a bounty hunter with a whole arsenal of murder and an honest-to-god chainsaw leg. The core game is balls to the wall, absurdly fast boom and shoot. You come natively equipped with a double jump, double dash, and obscenely fast run speed, and eventually get the ability to wall run off certain areas. However, the star of the show is your slide, as sliding causes you to attack enemies with your chainsaw leg, yes, chainsaw leg, dealing massive damage, as well as propelling you forward extremely quickly. As you kill enemies, you'll gain cash, which can be used to buy augmentations, some of the first being chainsaw leg giving you both health and armor, meaning sliding quickly becomes your primary means of quickly healing on the field, particularly against smaller and weaker enemies. You get the usual arsenal of weapons, from pistols to single and double-barreled shotguns to chain guns, SMGs, and a rocket launcher. All weapons also have a secondary fire that can be unlocked that often dramatically changes the weapon, such as the minigun becoming a flamethrower and the double-barreled shotgun shooting homing sticky grenades. Gameplay is absolutely frantic in the best possible way. I mean, you're watching the footage, right? The game is absolutely bananas. Levels start small but quickly become massive, requiring you to utilize your high mobility to get around quickly. Luckily, they're well designed enough so I never got lost, either with map objectives being highlighted or the obvious path of newly spawned enemies leading the way. So overall, Turbo Overkill is Doom Eternal in a vaporware setting injected with heroin. And not to spoil the end ranking, but it friggin' rules. So what do I like about Turbo Overkill? Well, the movement in this game feels so damn good, I want to inject it directly into my veins. Despite its insane speed, you never feel out of control, and it's paired with some absolutely phenomenal shooting. Speaking of the shooting, the game has a surprisingly diverse number of enemies that require varying strategies to take down. You will need to utilize all the tools at your disposal, which makes every fight engaging and exciting. And lastly, the game just looks rad as hell, and its soundtrack is a banger too, with tons of fantastic set pieces and that crazy neon vaporware aesthetic mixed with cyberpunk in all the best ways, as well as its hybrid of high-res and low-poly style models. When it comes to the bad, the game does require a lot out of the player and gets very hard very quickly, even on the default difficulty. Once you have the first 5 core weapons, the game does not hold back anything, requiring you to master its mechanics or be loaded in checkpoints a lot. It may be too much for some, and this is not me being some pretentious jerk, it is legitimately overwhelming. Additionally, I did encounter a handful of bugs, the worst of which actually sent me back several checkpoints. That was very frustrating, and the lesser being minor crashes. They weren't super common, but they are still there. And lastly, as this is early access, there's only one episode at the moment, and I want more. It reminded me of when I finished Proteus, and I was pumped and would kill for some more levels. As you know, I rate games here on a 3-point scale. Must play, maybe considered, don't bother. And I'm not gonna mince words. I love this game. It is absolutely a must play. It came completely out of left field. It was one of those Steam recommends games in my queue, and I bought it on a whim, and it absolutely blew me away. I am a massive boomer shooter fan, and I play tons of them, and this one is an absolute banger amongst the throng. Even with only one episode, you should still definitely check it out if you enjoy these types of games. And even if you don't, you should probably still consider it, as it's the most frantic, insane, and visceral gameplay experience I have had in a long time. Highly recommended. That is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about Turbo Overkill in the comments. Have you heard of it? Have you played it? Are you going to check it out? But regardless, make sure you go out there and enjoy the hell out of Turbo Overkill.